Brian Hartman jump in here with Phill Steele, who joins us. Again, Phill, we're angry with him right now. He's got the Vols 44th in his poll, but calls Tennessee in his team write-up and just said it a second ago. He had him 20th in his preseason power poll. And again, we're not breaking news here, but a lot of this is going to depend on how Joey Aguilar adjusts and how quickly, because Tennessee has a navigable schedule. If they can get there, they've got a navigable schedule. It's a matter of getting there. Brian Hartman, jump in.
Yeah, I look at the teams that you maybe 15 through 30 or 25 through 50. Is that a case of you could probably just throw them all in a hat and come up with a different ranking each time because it's hard to separate them? Or what did you see in 9 ACC teams that you've got them ranked higher than Tennessee? You've got Florida State, who was 2-10 last year. They're 13 spots higher than the Vols at 31.
That's not true, Brian. He didn't
Nebraska,
do that.
who's really struggled, they're 28. What about those teams that you see in them that you've got them at where you have them?
Phill, you didn't do that, did you? You didn't put 9 ACC teams ahead of my Volunteers, did you?
That I can't tell you. I have to go look, but I think Brian's probably looking at the page telling you that right now.
What are we doing here, Phill?
Let me give you full disclosure of what went on with the top 40 rankings this year. All right, completely full disclosure. We were out of time, and I did an article I did a blog on this on philsteele.com, which talked about the fact that we had to hit our deadline of June the 7th or June 6th, whatever it was, or else we were going to get pushed back 3 weeks for the magazine, and we were completely out of time. So I'm frantically typing my top 40 as I was going, and basically I went off my computer numbers, projected wins for the season for the teams on the right-hand column, and then I'm typing in the recap real quick, and I'm trying to do this whole thing in a short period of time. That's why we have a little bit of discrepancy, as you mentioned, Tony, with the fact that when you look at Tennessee, to me there's two key games for Tennessee this year. Oklahoma and at Florida. I think they lose against Georgia. I think they lose against Alabama. If they can beat Oklahoma at home and they beat Florida on the road, you're looking at a team that goes 10-2 and makes the playoff for a second season in a row. Now, if they lose to Oklahoma and lose to Florida on the road, then you're looking at an 8-4 team, and that's what my computer must have been coming up with, was 8-4 on them. And when I'm looking at the 8 and typing them in, I'm picking my 9.5s over the 8s. The key for my top 40 rankings is to get the teams with the best records at the end of the year. That's why Tennessee's number 20 in the power poll. But it was a little frantic down the stretch. I got to be honest with you, Tony, on that last day when we're putting the magazine together. I've got some typos on my surprise team page, which you could tell we were just slamming pages out of here in the last day. The majority of the information in the magazine, 98% of the information in the magazine is perfect, and that's what I wanted. I wanted each team page to be perfect, have my write-ups perfect, but there was a couple pages at the end that just sort of got slammed out, and unfortunately the top 40 was one of them, which would probably be, if I had more thought put into it, I probably would have picked Tennessee a little bit higher and not behind 9 ACC teams. So that's a great question. I appreciate you asking it. It was a very unusual year, and I got to tell you, if they stay with this 2 transfer portal thing, I got to move it back to like June 15th to put this thing out and have it perfect like it was, because I was unhappy with some of the typos that got through this year's magazine. Well, thank you, Brian.
And here's the deal with Phill. We've known Phill for literally, I called him his first year he was doing the deal. I was a kid doing the deal. And just as a full disclosure here, I would go to this is the world we lived in. I would go to the magazine aisle in the supermarket as a kid and walk in there with a piece. I didn't have $1 to my name. I'd walk in there with a piece of paper, and I would write down who the publisher was, what the phone number was of this one, of that one, of this one, of that one. Phil's like the last guy left, by the way, and he's one of the first guys I called, and we had him on. I think, Phill, you said earlier, that first year, I think we had you on that first year, and I remember you asking me at the time, which kind of stands out to me, how did you find it, or how did you find me, or that sort of thing. But one thing I've known about you is that you've always strived for accuracy. You've never been a clicks and hits guy. That's never been you. You've never been a I need to go viral guy. So a little grace can be afforded to you, because this really right now, what they've done here to this sport in particular, is really insane. Like that spring window and the way that fell on, and look, it fell on Tennessee this year, but they're not going to be last. Like starting quarterbacks, now that bubble's been broken, there's no telling how many of these guys are going to hold it over these teams and say, hey, if you don't pay us some money, we're going to do like Nico did. And it really kind of wrecks your season. It really puts you behind the 8 ball. But more than that, it destabilizes the whole sport. So just a word about Phill Steele. Now,